And in our final segment tonight, we are talking TV. Matt, what have you been watching lately?
So I just finished the second season of Castlevania on Netflix.
Ooh, I've been meaning to watch that, just hadn't got around to it.
You saw the first season?
Yes, and I loved it. It was amazing and bloody. And we like violence.
It rained blood.
Oh my God, literally.
Yes.
The eye, you remember the eye when that was a bit much for me, but it was fun.
And it took me back, and it got me to thinking. I used to, back in the 90s, early 2000s, these anime movies come out and they would be so bloody and so violent. Mm-hmm. And I'm not watching the right anime anymore. I'm just missing that bloody violence, and Castlevania has it.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I don't know what the deal was. I don't know if they were just testing the waters, but the first season is 4 episodes, I believe. And
I remember it's short.
It's really short, and it's so good that you wanted more. And then the next season is 8. I think they've already said they're going to have a third season, and it's not going to be much more than 8. I saw something from the director. He's like, no, we got a story to tell. It's this many episodes, and that's what we're going to do. Which,
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Just give me great episodes, and it doesn't matter how few they are.
But the basic story of Castlevania is that the church has there's kind of monsters and demons and stuff running around the countryside, and the church is trying to eradicate them, and they decide to burn Dracula's wife at the stake for being a witch, which was not a good idea.
No, it's not.
And so Dracula decides that all humanity must die. And so he calls forth all of his little vampire buddies and hey, let's just destroy all of humanity. So at the same time we get that, and then we get the hero who shows up, and I can't ever remember names, so his name of course escapes me right now, and I knew it. But
in a minute.
But he comes from a long line of famous vampire hunters, and so he goes in search of. Well, he doesn't start off in search of Dracula. He's kind of a reluctant hero, which I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like a good reluctant hero.
But he gets kind of sucked in the fight to try to stop Dracula, and so you've got this opposing battle between not necessarily good and evil, maybe evil and less evil.
Yeah.
That are one of them is trying to fight for humanity and stop the vampires. One of them is trying to fight for the vampires and stop humanity. And I think it does a really good job of it shows you. Maybe I'm not supposed to feel such a connection to Dracula. Maybe that's not the point. But I totally understand Dracula's his side of things. He was a perfectly okay dude when the show started, and they hunted him down and killed his wife. And are you looking at my name? Belmont. Trevor Belmont. That's the the good guy, or the not so bad guy.
Right, the hero.
He is the protagonist.
The protagonist. You can't go wrong with that.
And so it's him hopping from town to town trying to save people and stop these demon raids that are coming in and just literally ripping people to pieces and eviscerating people and chopping people up. And,
it's crazy.
And, it is just ridiculous. And you haven't seen the second season, so the second season goes a little more into the backstory, what's going on, what's happening. We get. I honestly felt like the second season went down in quality a little bit, at least story-wise for me, that it wasn't what I wanted. I could see some people would go, oh man, it got so much better in the second season because the stories, there's more depth, there's more detail, there's more...
I'm guessing you took more time with it.
Yeah.
Because that first season was just packed a punch, too.
Yeah. And it still goes, it goes quick, it is rapid. But it is a really fun ride, and it does end on and not really a cliffhanger, but it does have an open end where you definitely can see they're going to continue it, and like I said, they've already announced, I believe, that the third season is coming out. Nice. And so I really, really enjoyed that. It was different, and Netflix can usually be hit or miss. And a lot of their animation, I absolutely loathe their animation style.
Right, the styles.
I call it $5 animation. It looks like they went to a sweatshop somewhere and went, you got any 4-year-olds that can draw this and for 75 cents? And we'll just skip, we just need one frame every 7 seconds. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it just looks so bad. And this is not that way. I don't know what enticed them to do it this way. but I really like the animation. It kind of, again, reminds me of those old animes. It's smoother and cleaner. And I just like everything's a little dirty and gritty and nasty, and I just like that. So I really enjoyed the second season. I really enjoyed the first season. I'm looking forward to the third one.
Well, I have been watching Mars, which is a National Geographic series, and it's a little different. Doesn't really have any of the violence or the bloody fun stuff that I tend to like, but there is the drama. So, and it's kind of a weird show because they cross cut with, like, from 2016, where they have a bunch of interviews with, like, Elon Musk and Apollo astronauts and like actual scientists and stuff, talking about how we're going to get to Mars and how we're going to build the tech to make that happen. But then it cuts to 2033, dramatizing human Mars landing. And it's kind of weird that it goes back and forth in each episode several times. It's going back and forth constantly. So I could see that being off-putting to some people. I didn't mind it because I'm such a awful space nerd that I find it all very interesting. I'm like, oh yes, tell me more. So it's neat watching them talk about the failure and the challenges we have to overcome, and then it cuts to the future where we have overcome all these challenges, and then they have more problems prop up. But basically, it's the story of the first human landing, and
then we have to go back.
I'm going to go with attempted colonization of Mars, because I haven't seen the whole thing yet. I've seen about 5 episodes. And things go pretty wrong, like, from the get-go, which, makes for fun drama.
You say it was a
National Geographic, yeah. And so season 2 is just about to start airing now. And I know you can find it streaming some places. I'm not sure where exactly, probably Amazon, but I have Suddenlink, and it was offered streaming on there. So you can get it on Netflix, but you have to get the discs. Silly Netflix. Anyway.
You're the only person in the world that still gets the discs, so...
I like them. But, so... They don't have a crash landing. That would be too much. But they do have problems, and it ends up being one of those things that, well, they're the only ones on the planet. There is no support. There is no help coming. All they've got is the few pieces of tech that were landed ahead of them in preparation for their arrival, and they landed too far away from their landing site because they were off course. And
the National Geographic is throwing me off. So is this a
docudrama, I guess,
or is it an actual series?
It's an actual series,
okay.
And I'm not sure how many episodes there are yet. I could probably look it up, but like I said, I've seen 5 of them, and half of each episode almost is like interviews with people current day talking about the challenges, and then half of it's this, and it's based on a book. I forget who wrote it because, like you, I can't remember stuff, but it was called How We Will Live on Mars, or How We'll Live on Mars, something like that. And takes that book, dramatizes it, and then interviews people, talking about how it's going to happen. There's a lot of things they have not addressed, which if you get into really nerdy tech stuff like radiation, we're just going to get irradiated all the way there? I don't know. They didn't address that, but
stay tuned.
They do talk about it as far as in the landing, because they're trying to build a habitat underground, like in a volcano vent or something. So it's got a lot of drama, a lot of, not really hair-raising, but it's just challenges to overcome, which if you liked The Martian, it kind of similar vibe. The Martian's just so well done. I hate to compare that to anything. Such a good movie. Loved it. But anyway, yeah, Mars. Great show, lots of fun. Not to be confused with The Expanse, which is not the same thing at all. Though I do like that for different reasons, but it's not near as well produced, I think. Not near as much fun, though it has a lot of the violence and intrigue and mystery and whodunit stuff. I can see why you wouldn't like it. Anyway, that's all our time. Thank you so much for watching Screener to Stream It.
And remember, don't take your kids to the movies on Tuesday nights, because that's when we go.